Hi friends, so we are getting to the end of kindergarten and you have shown me that you know all of your sounds, you know all of your letters, you know all of your sight words. So what I was going to do today is I was going to talk about two letters that are kind of tricky, and they're tricky to me, they might be tricky to you, and these two letters are D and B. Now, I know when we write them uppercase, we know the difference, but when they're lowercase, they almost look the same. So it's kind of hard to figure out which one is lowercase d and which one is lowercase b. And sometimes we get them mixed up. So in this video, I'm going to give you a few tricks to help you figure out which way lowercase d goes and which way lowercase b goes. So the first thing I'm going to show you is an uppercase and lowercase b. And I gave them faces because a lot of times they say B's go walking. So that means both B's face the same way. So it kind of looks like they're walking with each other when they're next to each other. So uppercase B has a bump going this way, and lowercase b has a bump going the same way. So their bumps are going the same way. Now I have a picture of uppercase and lowercase d. And if you look at these, they usually say that uppercase and lowercase d are talking, because when we talk to someone, we're usually looking at each other. So I've told you when you greet someone in the morning, it's good to make eye contact. So uppercase and lowercase d are making eye contact because uppercase d's bump goes this way and lowercase d goes the opposite way. So their bumps face each other. That means they are talking instead of walking. Another trick I like is looking at a lowercase b. I usually say B has a belly. So that means the belly goes in front of the line. So B has a belly, and belly begins with B. So sometimes I try to remember it that way. B has the belly in front. Okay, now I want you to think, before I show you the picture, about a sport that begins with B. So this sport begins with B. The sport I'm talking about is baseball. So when I'm trying to figure out how to write a B to make sure that it is a B and not a D, I always say the bat and then the ball. So you make the bat first and then the ball. That looks just like a lowercase b. Bat, ball. So baseball begins with B, and we can remember bat, straight line, ball is the bump. And then for D, I thought about my favorite food that begins with D, which is donuts. And I drew a D. The donut always comes first. If I had the choice to eat anything, I would always pick the donut. So you make the donut the bump, and then comes the line, which looks like a D. The donut first, the bump, and then the line. So that's our lowercase d. So if you're trying to write lowercase b, and you're not really sure which way the bump goes, you can say this in your head as you're writing to help you write it the correct way. So for lowercase b, you're going to say first the bat and then the ball. And that way you know which way the bump goes. Now for lowercase d, you know that the donut always comes first. So that means the bump comes first. So we're going to make the bump first and then the line. And that is the way lowercase d goes. First the donut, then the line. Okay, now I'm going to give you a word that has both B and D in it. We're going to try to spell it the correct way. So, I have the word bed. B-E-D. So, B is a B. So, we need to write our B first. So, when I'm writing my B, I know first the bat and then the ball. So, I have a B and then B-E. I need an E. And then the last sound, B-E-D. D. I need a D. I remember first the donut, so the bump comes first. And then the line. So I have B, first the bat, then the ball, E, and then D, first the donut, the bump, and then the line. Okay, so now that we talked about writing B's and D's, we're going to talk about reading B's and D's. So sometimes when you're reading and you see a lowercase b or a lowercase d, you get a little confused and you're not sure how to sound it out. You're not sure if it's a B or a D. So just like when you're writing, I'm going to show you a word. And if you're getting to a word and you see this letter, you're not sure, when you read, if you see the donut first, you know this is a D. So for a D, the donut comes first, the bump, and then the line. So now you know this is a D, and you can say D-A-G, dog. And then in this word, if you're reading and you get to this letter, you see that the bat comes first, and then the baseball. So just like when you're writing, when you're reading and you see the bat and then the baseball, you know that's a B, and now you can make the B sound, B-A-T, bat. So just like when you're writing, you can use the donut and baseball trick when you're reading too. So when you get to a letter, you just look at what comes first. If the bat comes first, it's a B. If a donut comes first, which is the bump, it's a D. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you two words, and we're going to try to read them and figure out if it's a lowercase d or a lowercase b by using our tricks that we learned. So let's look at this word. If I'm reading and I get to this letter, I see a bump first. So we said that's the donut, so that means it's a D. So D-E. I see a donut again, so this is another D. D-E-D. Did. So we were able to see the donuts first, and we knew right away that those were lowercase d's. All right, here's my next word. And if I'm reading and I get to this letter, I see the straight line. So I see the baseball bat first. So the bat is first, so I know that's a B. B-A. The bat's not first here, the donut's first, so that's a D. B-A-D, bad. So we were able to see that this word is bad because we saw the baseball bat and then we saw the donut first for this letter. So what I'm going to do now to let you practice a little bit more is I'm going to send you a paper with a couple sentences. You can practice reading those sentences so you can figure out the difference between lowercase b's and d's. And you can also grab either two markers, two different colors, or two crayons, two different colors, and you can highlight all the b's one color and all the d's another color. But make sure you take your time and really look at those letters. And with more practice, you are going to know the difference between those lowercase letters. Those are probably the two toughest. So I figured I'd make a video to help you out with it.